What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode. Hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and share the video. Hit the join button and become a member. Wow! Well, members get exclusive content. Hit the bell icon on my channel so that you receive a notification every time I drop a video, and you can go and check the video out. Let's get into it. This story takes us to Centinela State Prison, where I just paroled from. And there, the whites had unalived another white guy right there on the yard, heading in the back to vocation. I'll explain what vocation is for those who may not know. And so, here on the yard, C-yard, the white boy was a little unruly. He was a wayward white guy. He did not like to follow the rules and the protocols necessarily. Come to find out, he had an issue with the shot caller. He felt like the shot caller was exerting his power unnecessarily. The shot caller had mandatory workouts for the whites there on the yard. But the white guy was saying that the prison that he just left, which was much stronger than this prison here, because he had left a level 4 180, they did not have mandatory workouts even there. So how can I come here and I am required to work out and it's mandatory? So again, he felt like the shot caller was going too far. Now, mandatory workouts is not something foreign. It's something that was happening in high desert as well. But again, in high desert is different. I have never seen a group of whites in my life like I've seen the entire time I was at high desert. As I've said before, that is where I began to respect the whites at, as far as their politics and their strength is right there in high desert, because of the work that they were putting in. I don't care what anyone says. They were extremely strong and structured and stabbing, and was prepared and willing to stab anyone, any group, period. That's the only place I've seen them like that. Even in other level 4s, they are not as formidable. They're strong in some situations, but they were the most structured and strong right there in high desert. I don't know this dude that came from high desert or not. But he's talking to the blacks on the yard as well. The white guy is. And there's nothing wrong with talking to another race, but you can't get too comfortable and too close with them, particularly if you are from a white faction and you're getting comfortable with blacks. You're supposed to be racist, you're supposed to be a skinhead or an Aryan, and they don't allow that. Well, this guy here, he's on the yard. He's talking to blacks out in the open on the yard, in clear defiance of the leadership, of the hierarchy. Again, apparently he had a disdain for the shot caller. And so to be defiant, he wanted to talk to the blacks out there. Well, don't put us in that shit, because you got a problem with your shot caller. He was warned. You're getting too comfortable with the blacks. You're talking too much to the blacks, and you're having too many dealings with them. Well, come to find out, he was also someone that liked that Beyonce, that down baby. And he was using it often on the yard. That's okay too sometimes, depending on your car and your faction. However, most of the time, they don't want you dealing with blacks when it comes to getting illegal stuff that you're going to use. They don't want you dealing with blacks. Because if you don't pay the debt, then there's a riot, etc. They prefer that you deal with your own people. And so they told him that they were getting fed up with him and his wayward ways. That they didn't want him having any more dealings with the brothers. And that he was going to join these mandatory workouts whether he liked it or not. Wherever you just came from, That's not where you're at now. I'm calling the shots here, and this is how I want it, and this is how it's going to happen. You're going to have to adhere to this, or else. Well, the white, he was headstrong and willful, and decided he was going to play ball. That he was going to play the game and continue on with his wayward ways. He continued to talk to the blacks on the yard. He continued to talk to his neighbor, who was a black, was standing in front of his door for an hour or so, laughing and joking. Well, this is an unsightly sight for many people. All the whites are outside, inside of their cell doors, looking outside their cell, looking at him saying, who does this guy think he is? Why is he over here laughing with these Negroes? All comfortable and chilling like he's one of them. He's really disrespecting us and everything that we stand for. Understand that prison is very racist. And the white groups in prison are the one white group. They all essentially come together. They are extremely racist. They built their faction on white supremacy. And they are openly racist there in prison. They don't want to talk to you. They have swastikas tattooed on them, on their face everywhere. They're tattooed up. You know, Nazi lowrider, whatever it is that they have on there. They don't want to be bothered with any blacks, period. And well, the feeling is mutual. If you hate us, then we don't like you. We hate you too. If you dislike us, then we dislike you. At least I do. Speaking for myself, I don't have a problem with anyone except for the people that have a problem with me. So if you don't like me just because I'm black, I don't like you either. The feeling is the same. It will be mutual with me. And I'm going to let you know that it's mutual. I don't want you thinking that you have the authority and the superiority to look down upon me. But I don't have the wherewithal to feel the same way about you because I've been put in my place. No, I feel the same about you. Let me get back to it. So, it's very racist there in prison, particularly with the whites. I'm just telling you what it is. And they are really going to be upset with one of theirs, first of all, going against their rules and protocols. But secondly, dealing with the blacks the way that this character is dealing with the blacks. Openly having discussions with them, openly laughing, stopping on the yard, talking to them for 10 or 15 minutes. They're not going to allow this. I certainly knew it was going to go bad for this dude soon. The white boy had a little size on him, and he was tatted up. He was clearly one of them. But I don't know the inner details. I'm not white. I wasn't involved in their conversations. I'm not a part of their car. So I don't know personally why he had such a disdain for the leadership. But he did. And he displayed it constantly. And finally, they let him know that he had just one more time to do something that was unbecoming, and he would be attacked. Not long after this warning, well, he got caught at a black person's door retrieving some illegal substances. He went back to his cell. And the whites had creeped to his cell, gave him enough time to get the stuff out and to start doing it. They wanted to make sure that that is what he had got from the black cell. And according to the whites, they witnessed themselves, this guy, doing stuff inside of his cell, doing the illegal substances inside of his cell that he had just retrieved from the black. This enraged them. And they said enough was enough and this guy has to go. Apparently, they put a hit out on him. It wasn't just a DP. It wasn't a discipline. It wasn't about to be a 2-on-1. Apparently, he had transgressed enough in their minds to snuff out his life. And one morning, heading back behind the wall is where we call it behind the wall. They have different classes, vocation. They had laundry, and Corcoran they had metal fab behind the wall. You cut metal up and all that. And they have different industrial work behind the wall. They work for companies on the street. We some places behind the wall we make material for companies on the street. This is why prison is a big business. That's why it's the modern day slavery, because we're still in there toiling and slaving for corporations. It's a money game. And when you head behind the wall, you have to be strip searched every morning. When you come back from behind the wall, you have to be strip searched as you're coming back to the yard, because they have so much metal and stuff behind the wall. They don't want you taking nothing back there, or certainly bringing any of that metal back, and many other potentially dangerous weapons behind the wall. So they're going to strip you naked, coming and going, and it's mandatory. No one is going to get away with not being stripped out, coming and going from behind the wall. Apparently, the white boys decided that they were going to get him before they reached the point of being strip searched. It was still a bold adventure to attack him right there heading behind the wall in front of all of the police. But when it's on, and when you have to take care of business, no one cares where you're at. They're going to come and take care of business. The white boy came out to go to vocation, get behind the wall, and perform his daily duties. Probably was high. I don't know. But he didn't see it coming, because when he got close to where the police were at, two white boys approached him from the back and began to stab him about the neck area. He turned around and tried to fend them off, but clearly he did not have a weapon of his own. And they were prepared, and they were angry and swinging a knife like they were pissed off. And they hit him a few times, all in the neck. And he collapsed right there in front of everyone. Bam! Hit the ground, blood squirting everywhere. No one was in shock at what they were seeing. We see this on a daily basis. We all just continued on and minded our business as if nothing had just happened. The police did run over there. They eventually caught on to what was going on, got the whites on the ground, and began to administer aid to the fallen. They called for medical. They rushed over there and covered up his neck with bandages and tried to put pressure on it, etc., because he had a gaping wound in his neck. But nothing could be done. He had already lost too much blood, and the hole in his neck was too large. And so he passed away right there on the yard, right there where he dropped at. He died. And yes, it was over. Again, I'm not white. I'm not involved in their conversations or their politics. So I don't know. There had to have been more to it than that, than he's talking to blacks and doesn't want to do the mandatory workout. I don't know if a word came down on this guy. I don't know what their conversations are like. The whites like, man, let's get this dude because he's not listening. He thinks he's this. Maybe he wants to be the shot caller. I don't know. They had some other reason, had to. Something else was going on in their car, in their faction with this guy. I don't know what it was. I don't know the inner workings. I'm not involved. I know what I know about what happened from the outside, that he was certainly dealing with blacks, and they didn't like that. And I know that he had defied the workouts and had basically questioned the leadership. This is factual. This I do know. What else went on, I'm not sure. That would warrant two of them attacking him with weapons and unaliving him brutally in the morning on the yard, early morning, 6 or 7 a.m. But they did. And it doesn't happen like that a lot in Centinela, although there are some unalivings. The Southsiders just unalived somebody not too long ago, another Southsider. It happens on the yard. But mainly, these unalivings happen on a level 4 180s. In fact, I'm going to bring you a story about the whites unaliving another white in high desert. It was crazy. Normally it happens in high desert, even Calipatria and Pelican Bay. Not necessarily Centinela. Not the unalivings, but they do happen because it is prison, and it is a level 4 prison. And that's what happened there with the white boy who was attacked brutally and viciously and lost his life right there on the yard for reasons unknown to me, because I'm believing that it's more than what the eye sees. I don't know, man. Rest in peace to him. Rest in peace to that white boy. To all these people that lose their lives in prison. It's a horrific thing. I'll be back today, in fact, with more content because I have work to do. I'm putting in work. I'm going to have to outwork everybody if I want to grow this channel. And that's exactly what I plan on doing. So I'll be back today on Saturday with more content. In the meantime, stay free, people.